Ever met someone who seems overly obsessed with their own image and importance? It's quite normal for people to occasionally brag or seek the spotlight. But when this behavior becomes more intense and consistent across different situations, it could be a sign of Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD. This is a psychological condition characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, entitlement, and a marked lack of empathy for others. It is important to note that there's a significant difference between occasional self-centered behavior and the extreme, persistent traits that are indicative of NPD. NPD is not just about being self-absorbed, it's a deep-seated, pervasive pattern of behavior that can make it challenging for individuals to maintain healthy relationships and lead balanced lives. To help us better understand NPD, we'll be using the acronym Special Me. Let's dive into the Special ME acronym to better understand the signs of Narcissistic Personality Disorder. First up, we have S for sense of self-importance. This is about having an over-the-top belief in one's own abilities or worth. Imagine someone who constantly talks about how they're going to revolutionize their industry with their brilliant ideas, even when they're just starting out. Next, we have P, standing for preoccupation with power, beauty, or success. This trait involves an intense focus on appearing successful, powerful, or attractive. Think of someone who's obsessed with their image, always trying to look perfect and successful in every situation. E stands for entitled. This is the belief that one deserves special treatment or privileges, just because of who they are. It's like a person who cuts in line because they think their time is more valuable than others. C is for can only associate with special people. This trait is about wanting to be around those who are influential or admired. It's like someone who only hangs out with popular or successful people, as they believe it reflects on their own status. Moving on, I stands for interpersonally exploitative. This is the tendency to take advantage of others for personal gain. This could be someone who manipulates their friends into doing their work for them, without any consideration for their friends' time or effort. A stands for arrogant. This is about having a superior attitude towards others. Picture someone who always belittles others' opinions or achievements, believing that they're always the smartest person in the room. L is for lack of empathy. This trait is characterized by an inability to understand or share the feelings of others. It's like someone who dismisses others' feelings, problems, or experiences because they think their own are more important. M stands for must be admired. This is about needing constant praise and attention. Imagine someone who always turns the conversation back to themselves, seeking compliments and admiration. Finally, E stands for envious of others. This is about feeling resentment towards others' success, or believing that others are envious of them. This could be someone who gets upset when their friends achieve something, instead of being happy for them. Remember, these traits are extreme and consistent across different situations, not just occasional behavior. The key to identifying narcissistic personality disorder is to look for a consistent pattern of these behaviors, rather than isolated incidents. It's also important to note that everyone can exhibit some of these traits at times. It's the intensity and persistence of these behaviors that distinguish NPD from normal personality traits, so keep an open mind and remember to approach this with empathy and understanding. You may wonder, is NPD genetic? Well, let's delve into that. While there's no specific narcissism gene, our environment plays a pivotal role in shaping us. It's like a garden. The seeds of narcissism aren't inherently planted at birth. Rather, they're often sown by the situations we encounter and how we're nurtured, or sometimes not nurtured, throughout our lives. Imagine a child who's constantly praised for their achievements, lauded for their confidence, but never taught the importance of empathy. This child grows up believing they are always special, deserving of preferential treatment. When this sense of entitlement is coupled with a lack of empathy, it can foster the development of NPD. Furthermore, if a child's environment excessively emphasizes the importance of success, power, and beauty, it can fan the flames of narcissistic tendencies. So in essence, NPD often develops when confidence is rewarded, but empathy isn't encouraged. So, can you have a relationship with someone who has NPD? This question isn't easy to answer. It's like asking if you can run a marathon. Yes, you can, but it will be challenging, and it requires preparation, understanding, and setting personal boundaries. Imagine being in a relationship where your partner constantly seeks the spotlight, expects special privileges, and displays a superior attitude towards others. It can be quite draining, especially when your feelings and needs aren't acknowledged or understood. This is often the reality when dealing with someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. But let's be clear, it's not about labeling someone as a narcissist and distancing yourself. That's not constructive. It's about recognizing the problematic behavior, addressing it appropriately, and deciding what you're willing to accept in your relationships. The key to dealing with this situation is to establish personal boundaries. Let's say your partner always wants to be the center of attention at social events, making you feel sidelined. You might set a boundary by communicating your need for shared attention. If your boundary is respected, great! If not, you may need to reconsider your relationship's dynamics. It's also important to remember that you can't change someone's personality. If someone has NPD, they may not even realize their behavior is problematic. But that doesn't mean you should endure harmful behavior. It's okay to prioritize your own well-being. Being in a relationship with someone who has NPD can also mean dealing with their constant need for admiration and validation. This can leave you feeling emotionally drained, as if you're constantly walking on eggshells trying to keep them satisfied. It's crucial in these situations to take care of your emotional health. Seek support from trusted friends, family, or a mental health professional. Remember, it's not about winning or losing in a relationship. It's about mutual respect, understanding, and empathy. If these elements are missing, it's okay to step back and reassess. In conclusion, yes, you can have a relationship with someone who has NPD. But it comes with its challenges. Being around someone with NPD can be draining. But remember, it's okay to prioritize your own well-being. Let's sum up what we've learned about NPD today. Narcissistic personality disorder is more than occasional bragging or seeking the spotlight. It's a consistent, intense focus on oneself, often at the expense of others. The acronym Special Me can help us remember the signs. This includes a sense of self-importance, preoccupation with power, beauty, or success, entitlement, associating only with special people, interpersonal exploitation, arrogance, lack of empathy, constant need for admiration and envy of others. NPD is not a genetic condition. It's often influenced by environmental factors, particularly a childhood where one is raised to believe they're always special and deserving of preferential treatment. Relationships with individuals with NPD can be challenging due to their self-centeredness. It's essential to set personal boundaries and prioritize your well-being. Remember, labeling them as narcissists isn't helpful. Instead, focus on understanding their behavior. Remember, understanding is the first step towards compassion and support for those dealing with NPD.